So one of the ways that we are preparing ourselves is we're learning how to grow food, and we're learning how to grow more food. Cole, you can sure bust out that door real quick when you want to.
Are you gonna open it?
Watch your fingers.
Can't do it. Where are we going?
Tabos.
Tabos.
The camera's fogging up.
Oh, gross.
Good sweaty afternoon, beautiful people. We are not starting filming until, it's dinner time.
It is dinner time.
And so today was one of those days. I was down here in the barn doing something. She's like, do you have any ideas for dinner? No. What do we have that's ready in the garden? And she's listing off stuff that's ready in the garden. And I had the thought, it was like, why don't we do have some potatoes that we can dig? They'll be little. Yeah. Why don't we do potatoes? We'll fry up some pork. So pork, potatoes fried in the pork.
Yeah.
Some leeks.
Cabbage.
And some cabbage.
Yep.
That sounds like an excellent
It does sound like an excellent
dish.
meal.
Just right out of the garden. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna go around and try not to die in this heat.
Very muggy. There's a thunderstorm.
Yeah, let me see if I can show you this.
It's really cool.
Like, it's cool looking. It's like a giant mushroom cloud just building and building. Since we're up here by the leeks and I see that the
pitchfork is still there.
Let's get a couple leeks. Brett, you want to do the digging? Or you want me to? In case you didn't notice, he's my mini-me today. We match. Why don't you get this one? Jeez. You can tell it's quite dry in here. There's a lot of roots. What do you want? One leek? Quit stuffing your face and answer the question.
Let's do two.
Did you see how to prep these? Cut all the roots off. Chop towards the center. Chop towards the center. That's
so fancy.
That's a little chopped, but
that's okay.
That'll work. Cool. All right, we got a couple leeks.
Cool.
See, that side's still nice and soft. I wonder why.
Well, that guy was in an end.
So that's the plant right there.
Where are the baby taters?
Taters.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
whoa, hey.
Oh.
Wow.
Buggy.
Get that one. So walk up. You're not four-wheeling it in your dress. Pull it.
Get one.
You got one.
You got it.
Okay, put it in the basket. Don't fall over.
There you go. Good job.
There's one. Grab it.
Basket. Good.
Did you find one? Oh, there's one. Good eye.
Hey, good job.
See the potatoes?
You did it.
Did you find another one? She's got it figured out. They're right there. Oops. Good job. Good job.
Hold the plant. There you go.
Good. Good job. All right.
That's enough for dinner.
All right, and we got cabbage inside already. All right, I'm going to cut up these bigger ones to about the size of the little ones. I'm gonna parboil these for a little bit, just to kind of get them halfway cooked, so that way when I go to fry them, they don't take forever.
That way we don't have overcooked tiny ones and super hard giant ones.
Right.
And there's the helper.
Hi, helper. Helper, are you how to help?
baby portion?
Wee baby portion. She's probably not gonna eat all that, but
Probably not.
I put a lot of potatoes in there.
Wow, what a colorful skillet.
Beautiful.
That's really cool. And this is what? 100%?
Aside from the salt.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we don't have the ability to mine salt yet.
Okay. You got a tractor now, so you're good to go.
I got a tractor. If I find a salty spot somewhere on the property, you better believe I'm going to be digging it up.
Yeah, this is 100% ours.
Our potatoes, our leeks, our cabbage, our pork. Woohoo!
Cool.
That's a cool feeling.
That is. That's really
And
awesome.
we went shopping, 50 feet that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's eat. All right, on this nice, gloomy,
Slightly
sprinkly evening.
We didn't get a thunderstorm. We just went whoop.
I mean, it was like Moses and the Red Sea. That's how it kind of is. We need the rain, and the clouds just go around us.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
it's all right. It's been thundering. You might still hear thunder, but we ain't getting no rain.
Yeah.
So, we figured we would take tonight and walk down and show you guys the garden, show you how things are coming along, and just talk about the garden and stuff like that. So, down here, we're at the big garden.
Yeah.
The wheat is starting to come up. There's a few places. I think what we're seeing right now, yeah, there's like, 12 pieces of grain that have sprouted. I keep forgetting to water this. I even have the sprinkler right here, but I keep forgetting to water this. So, if it sprouts, cool. If not, okay.
It was all an experiment.
Yeah, it was just an experiment. Well, I suppose the cows are right here, so I've got the hose close. Maybe I'll just drag
There you go.
the hose over here and water while we're walking around. Yeah, we'll finish talking right here before I turn on the sprinkler.
Okay.
So these green beans are looking amazing.
They are loving it.
They are absolutely beautiful.
And they're finally flowering.
Are they finally flowering?
Yeah, look.
Oh, sure enough. Yay for green beans. This is my favorite time of year.
Yes.
Green bean season.
Love green bean season.
All right, before we do the squash bed, let me drag the sprinkler.
Okay.
Drag a hose over. Sorry guys, hope you don't mind a bath. This watermelon is doing better than the watermelon over by the tomatoes, and it was out of the same seed tray.
This is my patty pan squash. I've seeded it twice now, and it still hasn't really come up.
There's one
extra.
Okay. I gotta move. Okay.
This is crookneck.
Crookneck squash.
Yes.
So it's yellow squash.
Yeah.
Those are spaghetti squash. These stripy looking ones, these are Cherokee tan.
Okay, cool. And then we have zucchini. And I'm just like waiting for everything to flower.
And then these ones are the those giant, what are they called?
The cushas.
Cushas.
Mm-hmm.
I see that the squash beetles have found
Uh-oh.
my squash
Okay,
patch.
we're gonna have to deal with that.
Anytime I find eggs, I crush them. Where's it at? I look at it every morning I walk by.
Oh, do you have one?
Yeah, there's one right here. He's about 2 inches long. Grow, squash, grow. Are you smashing bugs with your bare hands?
I am.
You're a champ.
This is how much I like squash.
All right, and then over here we have our corn. So what did we plant here? Just a sweet corn?
This is a sweet corn, yeah.
We planted a sweet corn, and I don't know if I didn't water enough, but it's coming up really spotty.
It is. This is the Painted Hills.
Painted Hills.
And that's the corn from someone we met at HOA. I'm calling it shepherd corn because it's something they've bred for themselves. So
that's going to be some really tall corn.
Yeah.
Some of those stalks are seriously like that big around.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And the idea, we planted them about 4 weeks apart so that these will tassel and be set before these even tassel, so we won't get cross-pollination, so we can save seeds.
Should we walk down to the orchard since we're right here?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we'll do that. So probably about a month ago now, we got some wood chips from a friend, and as you can see, even with all the cardboard and the wood chips, we're gonna have to get out here and pull some grass. Ooh, look. Blueberry, blueberry. Ooh, ripe blueberries everywhere.
Our children have actually eaten most of these, so we kind of have to fight for them.
Our children, Buggy.
She's our child.
Just Buggy has eaten them.
Spicy, yes.
Like, that girl, she'll take off while we're out here doing stuff, and she'll come down here and just stuff her face with blueberries. And it's like, hey, save some for us. Ooh, those are pretty.
Aren't they pretty?
Pardon us while we stuff our face with blueberries.
It's really rude to eat in front of people.
It is. So, as I was saying, we mulched all this stuff. It's probably longer than a month ago now. And something I've seen is everything started pushing out new growth. I don't know if it's necessarily because of the wood chips, but I know that the moisture holding that the wood chips provide probably isn't hurting them at all. Like, you can see all this new growth that's pushing out, and everything is doing it. Like, every single bush, you can see the tops on everything are pushing out new growth. All right, so this bed right here, there's sweet potatoes, mango wurzel beets, giant beets, more sweet potatoes, and then giant gourd things. Serpent gourds, I think, is another name for them.
Yeah,
Serpent
that makes
gourds.
sense, because they kind of...
Yeah, I mean, they get huge. So one of the things about this bed, yes, it's giant beets and gourds and sweet potatoes. It's food for us. But the reason we're growing this bed in particular is we really want to start looking into animal fodder. Last year, up there where the tomatoes are, we grew Cherokee canned pumpkins. Yes. Really, it was the only pumpkin we could grow because everything else died from the squash beetles. Apparently, they're resistant to the squash beetles, which I'll take it.
Right.
Well, come fall, we harvested probably close to 300 pounds of pumpkins. Yeah. Well, what we did with those is we ate a bunch of them. All right, I got to change arms. We're not going to eat 300 pounds of pumpkins. They became animal fodder. And so every morning when I feed the animals, they get a couple pumpkins. Well, I fed pumpkins from about November until probably March. Just a couple pumpkins here and there. You know, they're small, so we had a bunch of them. And it was kind of a sad day when I got that last pumpkin out of there, but it was really eye-opening. So the reason for this bed, we are growing some animal fodder. These gourds are supposed to keep a long time. The beets, we can leave them in the ground. Right. They'll be fine in the frost. If we need to eat them, we can eat them. So I don't think I have to explain what's going on in the world right now. Yeah. If you're aware of things, you know. One of the things that we have looked at is, what if shipping goes away? What if all of this stuff that we know and use on a daily basis becomes too expensive or is unavailable or whatever? So one of the ways that we are preparing ourselves is we're learning how to grow food, and we're learning how to grow more food. We want to be able to feed us and our animals who also feed us. It's just stuff you got to start thinking about. And I think now's the time you really need to get serious about your being prepared.
Yeah, and learning skills.
Learning skills. We were talking earlier, and if we, a couple city slickers, can come out in the country and start growing our food, anybody can do it. Yeah. Like, if we can do it, anybody can do it. You know, we're not experts by any stretch.
We've proven that.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions.
The resources that are out there can make anybody a pro.
Yeah. And even on a small capacity, or maybe you can't grow it all yourself, but you can find local farmers who are able to do that. Yep. I mean, from where we came from our suburban lot, we could grow a lot, but I don't know if we could have grown
all of our food
for all of us for a year. But we also worked really hard to source from local farmers so that we were in a better situation that way, so we weren't relying on a system that couldn't support us. Yeah. So, and it's always better to support your local farmers anyways.
Yeah, we were all about that. And because we didn't really have the room to grow all of our food, you just make friends with your farmers. Yeah. Go to your farmer's market, make friends. Right. You know, a lot of them, they'd be completely happy bringing you out to their farm and showing you around.
Yeah. And you're supporting somebody else's family. You're not just buying vegetables. Yeah. You're making sure that somebody else stays feeding their family as well. Yep.
Let's go show the rest of the garden.
All right.
My experimental, I'll just plant it and see if it comes up. That's some turmeric. Yeah. And I see another one over there. Oh, is there one popping up? Oh, sure enough. Yeah. All right, and as you saw earlier, we dug potatoes. Those are tabos, yeah, as Buggy calls them. Those are looking like they're getting pretty sad. Yeah. We're probably gonna have to dig them up completely here pretty quick. I have a feeling once I say we're gonna dig all the potatoes, I'm gonna have to fight Brett to
He loves to dig
Like
potatoes.
he loves to dig
It
potatoes.
just tickles his heart so much.
He would take it over if I
He would.
let him.
Yeah.
The sunchokes, Jerusalem artichokes, that's what they look like.
They're so
The
pretty.
butterflies and various pollinators love them. Really, we're just growing them as an experiment.
Yep.
If we've never eaten them, but by the looks of it, we're gonna have a lot of tubers this year, so we're gonna dig those up, we're gonna eat them. If we don't like them, we'll grow them for pollinators, and we'll grow them as animal fodder.
Exactly.
Everything can be animal fodder.
So this is a mystery pepper that looks like it might be a poblano.
It does look like it's a poblano. That was when we weren't sure what it was.
Yeah, might be a poblano.
That looks like a poblano.
Bonus. And then artichoke, which is a long process.
Yeah, artichokes are kind of a 2-year thing.
Yeah. And more artichoke, which did give us a little head. It was this big, it wasn't even worth eating.
It's got its second artichoke head on there. Next year it'll be great. And then the asparagus bed. The asparagus you pretty much let sit for 2 years. This is their second year.
Yep.
This one set a whole bunch of seed. So once these are ripe, I'll save all that seed and we'll plant it and have more asparagus. Should we do the top bed first?
Yeah, let's do that and we'll work our way back. This is a dinosaur kale. It's huge and needs to be eaten. This is a head of cabbage that I missed when we were harvesting the other day with Mimi.
It wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, it was still little, so it's fine. This is all going to come out. This is lettuce that's going to seed, and it's all bitter now. So.
It's all bolted.
Yeah, so this is going to come out, and we're going to... I don't think we've decided what we're going to plant here, have we?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Peas that I need to finish harvesting. They're getting kind of starchy now, so that's okay.
Pull all them up and plant later.
And our beets and our turnips.
They're jamming.
Yeah, they
I mean, there's some beets in here that are huge.
Yeah,
There's
and
beets that are like...
Yeah, they're huge. This morning we had picked beets last night for dinner. And this morning I cooked the greens with a little salt and pepper and butter, and I put them on a scrambled egg sandwich, and it was so good.
Ooh, I bet that was good.
I know, I didn't feed it to you.
Yeah, you didn't. I saw you cooking it, but I didn't get any.
It was for me. I ate it, and it was delicious.
That's all right. There's more beet greens. I could
beet
have that for breakfast tomorrow.
Brassicas. Let's see. These are Brussels sprouts, so those will keep going. Our broccoli is pretty much done. We'll be pulling that out soon too. We have chard that is like the most glorious
the most
chard
beautiful
I've
looking
ever
chard.
grown.
Like we've never had chard look like that.
It's amazing looking.
It's like the stuff you get at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger.
Bigger. I think it's bigger than that. It's beautiful. Radishes that are purposely being left to go to seed because I have a friend who talks about how much he loves eating radish seed, so I want to try it.
Oh.
We're letting them go to seed. They make like little potty things.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And our leeks, which we've been slowly pulling, and they're tasty and delicious.
Oh, we've never eaten leeks before, and they're wonderful.
They're so good. I think what I'm going to do with a lot of these this year, because we probably need to start getting them out of the ground soon, like all of them. So I think at the very least, I will just chop them and freeze them. So they're ready to go.
Add them to
dishes.
soups and stuff like that.
But I kind of want to make a pesto with them too. I think that'd be really good.
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be like the garlic scape pesto we had while Mimi was here.
I can mix it with this kale. It could be a leek and kale pesto.
Ooh, that'd be good. Oh, here's something.
Oh yeah, this is new.
This is hops. I've always wanted to grow hops. They're starting to flower. We'll see if we actually get anything. Real cool plant.
Stark Brothers, when we were at HOA this past year, they had their booth and they were breaking it down. And they were like, hey, we have all these plants. We can't really take them back with us. Do you want them? And we were like, sure. And so it was just a mix of, whatever.
It was just odds and ends.
Yeah, and one of them was hops. And we were like, sure, let's try it.
Let's plant it. We planted it when we got back.
Yeah.
And it went dormant for the winter and spring.
It's doing great.
You can see it's climbing up the trellis.
All right, to our onion bed, they are starting to look pretty good. Those bulbs are getting
pretty big.
Good size. So we're going to wait for these to brown like the garlic did.
Yes, start falling over.
So once those start browning is when they're really ready. We can come in and lay them over and kind of like fake that a little bit, but I think we'll just let them go.
Well, with as big as those bulbs are getting.
Yeah.
I will say, we have always grown onions from the starts.
Yeah, the bulbs. Yeah.
Onion bulbs. Sets, that's the word. Thank you. And we've always had lackluster success. Like it just has never been that awesome. These are seeds. You guys who have watched for a while, these are the seeds that came from the onions that went to seed because we had buggy and we didn't get a chance to come out here and harvest. Actually in that bed down there where the potatoes are.
Yeah.
Well, we saved the seed. This is the seed that we planted.
Yes, we started them in trays.
We started them in trays and they have done better than any onion we've ever done. Now there is some science to that. It's called naturalization.
Yeah.
Basically, the seeds pick up the genetic knowledge of your soil and what is in your soil. And when you plant it in your soil again, the plant that comes up is ready and raring to go.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
They've done great.
Like,
we are super happy with starting onions from seeds. This guy actually looks like it wanted to be a kohlrabi.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't
like
know
super
what's
fat.
up with that guy.
That was supposed to be a Brussels sprout, but it's like, I'm a kohlrabi now.
I have no idea what's up with that guy. But everything else is going. If you look in here, you can see teeny tiny Brussels sprouts. So
sure enough,
hopefully those will just keep going and doing their thing. And then our magical tomatoes.
Magical tomato bed. Oh my gosh, look at the tomatoes.
Don't they look amazing?
They've gotten huge. Just
look. He's starting to ripen.
Ooh, there's one. There's some color.
I did want to mention, somebody asked in the last video that we did about pruning the tomatoes, why we prune them. We prune them for airflow and to get the plants, the leaves from touching the ground, which is where like funguses and stuff can come from.
So if those leaves are sitting on the ground, it'll cause fungus.
Fungus can come up. And then also we prune our suckers off and stuff, so it's putting more energy into the fruit rather than
plant
growth. You do get a little less fruit because obviously you're not getting as much bush, but the fruit you do have becomes bigger and stronger.
Obviously,
and
look at these Roma looking things.
Oh.
Wow, bunches of tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty? Okay, okra. Well, this is eggplant. This is okra that I reseeded because I guess I planted it too early and it just didn't come up. But all these have popped.
Yeah, all of them are coming up.
And then the grass that I weeded half of it and it's now taken over.
It's all right. I'll get it.
Okay, you do it. Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Ones,
those are jamming.
Great.
Whoa! Just like that. Oh, there's one right in front of you too.
Oh,
Look.
where?
That's a good size one.
Oh, that is good size. Oh, there's another one right there. Oh, goodness.
Well, right now it's the race to beat the cucumber bugs.
Yeah, it is. It's okay. They're doing it.
All right, hot peppers. This is
Yeah.
my realm.
All spicy.
So this right here, these are Craig's jalapenos from Baker Creek, and they're a little bit different. They're not quite like a jalapeno, and they're hot. They have a lot of hot heat, but I imagine once they're like real ripe, they'll probably be sweet. But as they are right now, it's just all heat and pepper flavor. No like defining goodness. So
That's okay though.
really everything else is just in the flowering stage.
Yeah.
The things that I'm really excited for are like these scorpions are doing amazing, and I see little buds starting to poke out. So we're gonna get scorpion chilies. These, oh yeah. So funny story, these are cachuchas.
Oh,
These three are cachuchas. When we were at Homesteaders of America, I was standing there talking to somebody, and a couple walks up to me and they just hand me a bag full of ripe peppers, and they start walking away. I was like, whoa.
You said a word.
What are they? And, you know, laughed, turned around. They're cachuchas. They're Cuban pepper.
They're really good.
They're sweet, but they're hot, but they're not too hot. They're not
just
like
have a little bite on the end.
yeah, just a little, like it's a very pleasant amount of spice.
Yeah.
And they're sweet. Like they're really tasty.
They are
and so
really tasty.
we brought that bag home. We saved a whole bunch of seeds, and we're growing them this year.
Yeah.
These three are Sugar Rush Peach,
Okay.
I believe.
Chocolate habanero.
Which may or may not be a chocolate habanero.
Yeah, okay.
We got some seeds when we were on our trip. Neil's Homestead, they're market gardeners.
Yeah.
And they had chocolate habaneros, red habanero.
Right.
Well, they said we could pick some. I picked some. They came around the road with us. They made it through the trip, and they've been sitting in a bag in the pantry.
Yeah.
Well, I pulled them out. I had strung them up and hung them in our RV while we were driving. And once they dried, it was really hard to tell the chocolate ones from the regular red ones.
Right.
But they're just a little bit darker dried. So I thought that was what I grabbed. I could be wrong.
We'll see.
So either these are going to come out brown, chocolate brown, or they're going to be red. And then the dragon chilies, these are jamming.
Moving on. Then we have more cucumbers.
More cucumbers.
And I believe these are melons, like a little melon. And then this is the sweet.
These are all
pepper bed.
sweet, like bell peppers, and I think the hottest thing we have in here is an Anaheim.
Yeah, I think so.
One of these is an Anaheim.
Yeah, it's mostly just sweet peppers.
I'm not a big fan of bell peppers, surprisingly enough. If I'm eating a pepper, I want it spicy.
Yeah.
But all the things that she cooks bell peppers in, Things that you might not want spicy, but the bell pepper flavor goes great.
Like cheesesteaks.
Like cheesesteaks. Like
or fajitas.
a Philly cheesesteak with a spicy pepper wouldn't be the same. And you can chop them and freeze them, and then in the dead of winter, when you break out those garden fresh bell peppers and add them to a dish, it's like a little taste of spring in the middle of winter.
Yes.
More melons.
The melons, which are not behaving and going up the trellis.
Look, they're going everywhere but the trellis.
Everywhere but the trellis, so we're gonna have to actually like tie these guys up. And then overflow spicy peppers.
These are 7 pots, which
yeah.
I'm gonna have to get these off my 7 pots because I'm gonna be furious. Those seeds were so hard to get to start, and I only had 7 seeds and I got 3 plants.
And then basil.
And basil. Of course, basil.
And a fig.
There's never enough basil.
There's not. All right, that's pretty much
That's it. Well, you know what? I will show you guys this because we haven't really talked about this too much. This down here was just a let's stick stuff in and see what happens. This is our sunflower bed. I've got Mexican sunflowers. We threw some amaranth in there. We've got some giant sunflowers. Those are jamming. So this flower right here, the Mexican sunflower, these are my all-time favorite flower. I don't know why, but these just make me happy. They make all the pollinators happy.
Yeah, they do. They love it.
So we just stuck this where we can see it from the house real good. And now it's just a wall of color and beauty.
And then the sunflowers we can feed to the animals as well.
Or us.
Or us.
I don't think we're gonna get rained out.
Probably not.
It'd be nice if we did, but
It would.
oh well.
We did get some rain yesterday, so it's okay.
We did. And it actually rained this morning. We got enough to knock the dust down, but it's been so hot it dries up.
It's all right.
All right, that'll do it for today. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.